Welcome to Fanm Kreyol Takeover, presented by Fanm and Lux Media. Today we're going to have a special edition episode with the creator herself and our special guest, Tika J. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So how has your day been going so far before you came here? Good?
So far, my day's been good.
Good, okay.
It's even better now that I'm here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
So who are you? Where are you from?
I am Sharika Janelis, also known as Tika J, and I am from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, and you also go by the name Tika J Ministry. Is there a reason why you have Tika J Ministry as that name?
Yes, Tika J Tika is my nickname, my childhood nickname. And as I got into the gospel music industry, I decided to just give my name, give myself a nickname, Tika J.
Okay. I actually love that nickname. I love the nickname Tika. And you are a gospel artist, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's the only genre of music you typically get booked to perform to or that you make music for, right?
Yes, I'm a gospel artist, worship leader. Those are majority of things that I get booked for. I mean, I get booked for weddings to sing or do covers, but majority of the time it's services and yeah.
Okay, and do you have any songs or any albums out?
Well, I am going to release my very first album on April 27th. I am going to have an album release concert. And yeah, that's my very first album. I do have a single out called Valmas Cremas. That song generated from having a hard time, just getting married and having kids. And, we're looking at our everyday struggles and we're like, okay, my husband's a songwriter. So he had a line in his notebook. And that one line, we took that one line and just created a whole song around it. And it just generated from our feelings. Here we are, Lord. We know with you we're going to make it.
That's amazing. So your husband is a songwriter and you are a gospel artist. And that's just, you guys are like two perfect puzzle pieces.
Oh,
you
yes.
Together. Wow, that's perfect.
My tête chargée.
So what exactly inspired you to start doing gospel music?
At the age of 4, I've been singing, just going in front of the church and picking up the mic and deciding to sing. And as I got older, being in a Haitian church, there's a lot of things that go on where people pick up and just randomly leave. And that's what started my journey because there was one set praise and worship leader at the church. And I was always just the backup singer. And when the time came where there was nobody else to fill that role, I stepped up. And from that point on, it's just been taking off.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you've been singing from an early age, and now you're about to have an amazing album release concert.
Oh, yes.
So,
I still can't believe this happening.
That's beautiful. So do you get booked often to actually do the gospel music? Or?
I actually do. I do. I get booked often. Most of the time, it's for concerts. Again, in the Haitian community, they call me to open up the program in worship or just do a praise and worship segment in the concert. Very rare that I get booked as an artist. They book me more as the worship leader for the night. So.
Okay, well, that's amazing. And again, thank you so much for coming on the show to talk about, your story, to, promote your concert. And, it's just an honor for us actually to be able to document your story as well.
Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here.
Thank you. So who inspires you? What inspired you? I believe I asked you that already, but who inspires you?
My inspiration comes from God, first and foremost. Whenever I sit and try to, put pieces together and figure out, okay, where do I go next? He always drops something on my lap and be like, okay, this is the next thing to do. So he's my biggest inspiration. Yes, my biggest inspiration is God. And then, of course, my family inspires me. They always push me to become greater. Whether it's my husband, my kids, my parents, my siblings, everybody pushes me. Perfect. To go higher.
I can actually relate to you because I look at it in the sense that like sometimes you just feel like you have writer's block or creator's block, as I should call it, and the idea just comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
And you were like, okay, the idea didn't just come out of nowhere, but then it is forming into something all by itself. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm not taking the idea is taking me. You know?
It's the one that took the wheel.
Yeah, it's taking the wheel. So yeah, I can definitely relate. What are some things that you have accomplished with your career so far, or in the ministry?
In the ministry, I got a chance to get closer to different Haitian gospel artists that I never thought that would be, close to me because I'm upcoming. Some people you think they're like higher than you, so they won't like come up and be close.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thank God for that opportunity because some of them now are like sisters to me, and they're the one like helping me with my journey. So that's a really big accomplishment for me. I feel like I'm moving fast when it comes to this. I just want to now gear more towards the American gospel industry. So when my album comes out, it'll dibble dabble in both sides. So maybe that would open more doors for me.
So you're pretty much saying that you do a lot of Haitian gospel music.
Yes, a lot of Haitian gospel music. So anything English that is coming from me will be the very first time in the album.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, when you use like different languages, it allows you access to different markets, to different audiences. So the fact that you're deciding to do it in English now definitely allows you more access to people who will be able to like understand the music. But honestly, with music, sometimes it's just really it's a language of its own.
Yeah, it is.
So sometimes you don't even have to understand it. It just gives you the feels,
That's true. Because that happened with the song Valmas Cremas. It's in Creole. It's saying, Seigneur, où est moi qui campe là. Just that and the rhythm to it, people are like, oh my God, I don't know what it's saying, but dang, girl, you doing it. So, they're just like, I don't know what it's saying, but I want to hear more from you. And that alone pushes me to be like, okay, yeah, so then I'm going to do some more, and even the genre of music that is coming from this album. I have some reggae, I have some Afrobeat to it, and some contemporary worship, so it's good.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, how many English songs can we expect that we can expect on your album?
I say at least 5.
5. Okay.
5.
And how many songs total can we expect on the whole album?
7.
7? Oh wow. Okay.
7 songs on the album, so just 2 Creole this time around.
Wow. And then you said you're gonna do Afrobeat and reggae.
Afrobeat, reggae, compa.
Compa too?
Yeah, there's some compa on there.
That's definitely my favorite genre. So that's cool. That's cool. So, what is the album making process like for you? Like, are you up late at night writing songs? Do you just like let it flow in terms of like the lyrics, the melodies, and how you create the song? Like, what is the song process and the album making process for you?
Well, the song process wasn't too hard because I told you my husband's a songwriter, so majority of the lyrics are his lyrics that we sat together and like, okay, let's tweak this, let's change this, or so we sat there, and I think this album, we finished writing it from last year. We were done writing all of the songs, and then when it got to the beginning of this year, this is where the music came in. And even the music, I have a lot of musician friends and a lot of friends that produce music. So even that was a smooth transition. Of course, it gets a bit stressful because you want things to be a certain way. So you got to do some things over. But the process itself, as long as you have your head in the game and you know where you want to go and what you want to say, it's a smooth transition.
Okay. And do you spend a lot of hours in the studio?
I do sometimes because you could go in with one idea in your mind, and then when you get in front of the mic, you realize, okay, this doesn't sound as good as it sounded at home, so then I got to do it over. So sometimes you spend like, I say 2 to 3 hours or more. I think the last time I was in the studio, which was this past weekend, I didn't leave the studio until 3 a.m.
Wow.
And I got there at 10. So,
Wow.
yeah, a whole full shift.
They usually say creators or artists, if you love your craft that much or if you're that passionate about it, like you'll be sleeping in the studio or sleeping in front of your laptop or sleeping with your notebook beside you because you're either writing so much. Like for me, I dabble in a few different things, so I'm typically like staring at my computer screen, or I'm in the studio a lot, or I'm writing a lot because like sometimes you just have to be able to get those ideas out of your head and onto paper
Oh,
in order
yes.
for you to actually see it happening. So yeah. What advice would you give to women that are trying to get in the same industry? I know you did mention that you are working with other female artists or other gospel artists that you did not think that would be so willing to assist you on your journey. But what advice would you give to women who are trying to get into the industry with you?
I would tell them not to give up. The sky is the limit. Even though you see, many people doing the same thing, don't be shy. That was my mentality. I was like, well, so and so's doing it, so why should I do it too? Just remain focused. You know your goal. You know what you want to do. As long as you have it planned out, you're going to get there.
Okay. And growing up, did you experience l'école like l'église?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
L'école à l'église. My father is a pastor. So, of course, those 3 L's were the biggest. Trust me. You get up in the morning, leve, anay l'école. You get in school, you get one phone call that so-and-so wasn't in class. Baton l'arrivé la caille. Oh, I was in class. Mati wa fait? Mati wa fait? You get home, I lit, I fait devoir. Now, you get home, you ain't finished your homework yet. You taking a nap, they wake you up. What's next? L'église. Now, usepi pastea, you have to be front row and center in the church. My siblings were, well, my brother and my 2 brothers are the musicians at the church, so they can't miss a beat. If somebody's missing for praise and worship, who has to be there? Me. Currently, I don't experience the 3 L's because now I'm married and in my own place. But trust me, if I miss a church service, my dad is calling me. He's calling me. So I've experienced it. I've got baton for the 3 L's. Oh, I got baton for missing school because they thought you tell them you was sick and then you just wanted a day off and they find you up in front of the TV. Oh my gosh.
So let me guess. Your parents were getting automated phone calls saying you were missing from
Oh,
class.
my mom.
Yeah.
My mom didn't skip a beat. My mom was that. See, my mom is the Americanized Haitian, so she's trying to stay on top of everything. So she had virtual counselor on. Whenever we dropped below a 75%, she knew in her email.
What?
We missed school. Oh, she's getting that phone call. We were late for third period. Of course, if they did attendance already and you came in, you're considered absent. And the teacher doesn't change it, you're considered absent. Oh, you were at school the whole day. Konya arrive in the third block. What happened?
Wow.
So
See, your mom was actually on it because I never let my parents see virtual counselor.
my mom was
I
on
never
it.
let my parents see virtual counselor. I was trying to make sure that I kept everything to myself.
Because
up
you
until
knew.
it was back where it was supposed
You
to be.
knew if they saw what?
Yeah.
Even though the D was, you knew the D or something was going to get fixed. Oh my gosh. You didn't want them to see it. To the point, I think there was one time, I was younger though. This is when they used to write the grade on the report card. Now they print it out. They got smart. They used to write the grade. So I had an F. I took my pen and fixed it, made it a B. Little did I know there was a conference scheduled for that F. So when I went home getting glory, oh, you got a B, whatever, then they get in the classroom. And then the teacher's like, well, she got an F in this. Come on, F la. Come on, low bump F. Say F you up, the way. I'm like, I'm like, but nobody would say F you. That's not what it was. You know, when they're younger, they always say F is for this, F is for that. They will bump F when they say F you up, I'm like, oh, they're okay.
At least it didn't get to the point where Haitian parents normally say win but no.
Oh no, my parents never said that vin bat mo. They'll come beat me. Y'all vin bat mo eh. Not come vin No.
Okay, so I can relate to that as well. I mean, I think every Haitian Haitian I don't want to say millennial, all the youth can relate to that. Because as a kid, all I can remember is waking up at like 7 in the morning and not going back home till like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening. And my grandmother was on it, even if I didn't want to wake up, because I can remember from probably when I was like 6, 7 years old. Like she's bathing us in the bed, getting us ready, and then we get into the
With the
church
toile.
van. Yeah, we get into the church van and we're heading to church. And I'm like, why am I here till 6 in the evening? And you sometimes you're tired, so I used to fall asleep in the pews. So that's all I can remember too when it comes to church. Like they don't play about the church.
They don't
part.
play. They don't play. But
at
you
all.
saying you left from 7 to 6.
Yeah.
Luckily, we go morning service. We have the afternoon, and then we come back for night service. So we still had that afternoon time or that break time to take a nap. But then sometimes we come from our service. Then there's a revival that's closing from 3 to 6. So you go to that 3 to 6, and then you have to go to. So we go to like 3 to 4 services sometimes on a Sunday when we were younger. Now that we're older, my dad's like, oh, konya, nou gran moun, nou fè sa nou vle, nou pa pati avem anko. I'm like, okay, Dad, whatever.
Growing up, did your parents ever set any expectations in terms of your career? Did they want you to become a nurse, a lawyer, doctor?
In the beginning, my dad was all for nursing. But then he realized, okay, as long as we had a career that we knew could provide for our family, then it didn't matter. So I started off doing nursing. When I got my first job after high school, I started working with special needs. Ever since then, I was like, okay, forget nursing. That's not what I want to do. So now, currently, I'm working as a registered behavior technician. After that, after I'm done with schooling, I'll become the board certified analyst. So that's the one that analyzes, when they leave the psychologist, then you come to me for services.
Wow, okay. So not only do you do gospel music, but you are also a behavior technician.
Yes.
I would say the title, but it was long, so
Yeah.
you can say that one more time. What is it?
Registered behavior technician.
There you go.
The
Okay.
registered part is just for the state
The
or whatever.
state?
So behavior technician.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So now we're gonna go into our special topic, right? So your special topic was marriage and polygamy. What is your take on that? That's like specific topic.
Marriage, I always grew up one father, one mother. I don't know how people do it with several wives. I don't agree with it because I feel like you have to give time for each person. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to have time for. I have to have time for you. You have to have time for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I feel like every child deserves to have just two parents to themselves. You can't sit here and share everybody because then now you got 5 kids sharing one daddy. That's. I mean, not saying, people that have different, you know, baby fathers and stuff like that. That's an issue. I'm not saying that. I personally feel like marriage is number one because that's the person you're with. They know your ins, they know your outs. That's who you had the kids with. Marriage is a big thing for me because again, I grew up seeing that. My environment, everybody's married. I didn't really have anyone that it was either you weren't married or you're married. So it wasn't either like, okay, baby father's here, baby father's there. So I go by example.
Okay. I can relate. Lèm tam grandi, grand mèm qui te plus élevé moi. My mom was based in another city, and I was here with my grandmother and my dad. So my grandmother kind of took the role of both the mother and the father, even though my dad was around. Like my parents were here, but because of the type of person she was, she just kind of, took the role, and she she was both the mom and the dad, even though my parents were here. So that's kind of sort of, my parents were married, but at some point, you know, they weren't together anymore.
Right.
But so I am used to the one parent, two parent household as well. Like, it's important for me to see like strong households, and for me to see families that have a strong foundation, and for you to have like one mom, one dad, you know, and not, because I see how much energy it takes to actually build with someone, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, especially when you're giving 100% to either your craft or the person that you're with. C'est pas facile même.
No.
So like, I completely get it why you would, you know, keep your standards the way they are. Some people are really flexible though. Me, I would have to be honest, I can't. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to have.
Did you have to share? No,
I wouldn't, because I'm like, okay, so is some like 100% into you, 100% into you. I can't be giving. You can't be giving that to somebody else.
way.
It's got to come back home. What are you doing?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. What are you doing?
That is true, and that's why marriage again is also big for me, because with me and my husband, our beginning was different. Let top commencer, it was different. Of course, you're dating, parent Pavlo ak moun nan. In the beginning, of course, it's like, oh, ti gason sa vin pou petite fille mwen. So now, you know, it was pretty shaky and pretty rocky, but then we fought through. You know, of course, before marriage, I got pregnant. Low enceinte avant marié.
They want you to
in the
get
Haitian
married.
household, that's a big thing. Luckily for us, we were already planning our wedding. Nobody knew that, of course, but of course it always looked like, okay, ou gen moun sa, ou enceinte, that's it. Nobody knew the ins and outs. Now, we decided, okay, well, since we were going to get married anyway, let's just push the wedding up. We're just going to do it. So, avant nou te di pa nou whatever, we went to the courthouse. We got paperwork. We didn't get married yet. Nou pon papier, we presented it to his dad first and told him, okay, because his parents were the easier parents to tell first, because papa am tabay
Exposé.
So we told the parents, and that's how we did it. You know, it's not always parce qu'on enceinte for marier. And that's why I always try to tell people, le mariage fini, le petit fini. It's not always the thing, okay, don't rush and think, oh, you have to. You have a choice. My family gave me a choice. We understand ou son petit pasteur, sou pa vle maye ya moun nan, that's okay, gen moun ki fe sa. But I decided, no, this is the person I wanted to be with. We already planned that. So that's why marriage is a big thing for me.
That what you said is actually very true though. There shouldn't be a restriction on who you have to get married with, because I've heard this many times by people who are married and who do have children. You have to be careful with the person that you marry and the person that you have children with, because you know you're going to be tied to that person for the rest of your life.
Right.
So getting pregnant to me is not a mistake. You're bringing a beautiful creation into this world. You're bringing a child into this world, a gift, a blessing. And so I don't think it's something that should ever be looked at as a mistake, but you are right. There shouldn't be any restrictions on, you know, whether you should get married or not get married. Like if you guys want to just co-parent, you can just co-parent. Yeah.
It's all for co-parenting. As long as everyone's heads are together, that's it.
But again, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on Fanm Kreyol Takeover and doing this special interview with me, Tika J.
Thank you for having me so much, Annie, and I appreciate you.
Yes, and do you want to go ahead and give out your social media and where your concert's going to be taking place, where they can buy tickets?
Okay. My social media, you can find me on Instagram, Tika J Ministry. You can also find me on Facebook, Tika J. And the concert is, again, Saturday, April 27th. Doors open at 7 p.m. It starts at 7:30. The address is at Praise Tabernacle International. It's right off of Sunrise. Don't know the physical address by head, but
we'll plug it in there for you.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah, so Praise Tabernacle. Once you look up Praise Tabernacle, you'll find it.
Okay, and Tika J Ministry is the only social media page you have, right?
Yeah, Tika J Ministry, that's my Instagram. And I have a like page on Facebook, Tika J. Both have my picture. You see my face, you'll know.
Okay, and your album is officially coming out on April 27th
Yes, the
for
day
the
of the
album
concert.
release party.
Yes,
Okay,
the
perfect.
day of the
perfect.
concert.
Perfect. But again, thank you so much. It's the creator and the producer of Fanm Kreyol Takeover. We're now wrapping up Fanm Kreyol Takeover, the talk show. Please make sure to subscribe and like our Belfam Inc. page and our Belfam Inc. YouTube page. Bisous!